Hello there, I'm Guildmaster Dan, and welcome to the Fourth Wall. Now, I have a bad habit. Even though I have a long-running main game that I have players for and everybody's interested in, I can't help but watch something that I'm a fan of, like Mobile Suit Gundam, or read comics like Marvel Comics, and find myself really getting the jonesing for running a game in that set genre. But what am I to do? I already have a long-standing game. Well, I might just have. Wait a minute. What's going on? What's going on?
So today we're going to be talking about the metagame Flux by designer John Wick. As mentioned earlier, Flux is a metagame. At the discretion of the DM or GM, at any given point in time, you can do a change of scenery. This can be subtle or this can be very extreme. You can hand your character or you can hand your players an entirely new character sheet, give them characters that they've never seen in their lives before, different races, different classes, different worlds. And from that point on, they are basically forced to assume this other alternative personality. The entire world that you are in changes. Not just your players, the entire world. Your players may retain memories of this. If they are aware of the universe, they may in fact know that a flux occurred. They may even retain memory of some of the abilities that you They may even retain some of the abilities that they had before. For instance, say you're a wizard and you were able to cast this awesome fireball spell that you loved so much. Maybe you remember how to do it. Maybe your new dwarf ranger decides that they know how to do it. And they cast it. And they're successful. But sometimes the universe isn't so happy with you remembering things about your past self. Additionally, as the DM or GM, this gives you a great opportunity to scratch an itch. Say, you're in this really cool D&D universe that you love, but you've been watching Avatar lately, and you've really been falling in love with that Avatar universe. And you would love to see your players as part of this different universe. But you don't want to completely scrap everything. You don't want to start all over with new characters entirely. You don't want to make your players angry at you. This is an excellent way to take your players that you've already got in this wonderful game, keep parts of them so they're not totally mad that you just killed their characters or something. You take them and you basically make them kiss. So this is also a fantastic way, not only for you as the GM/DM to figure out or to try out the new system that you've been desperately wanting to try, but it's also a great way for your players to branch out as well. If they've never been in, say, a horror setting, and it's something that they've really wanted to try but don't have someone to do it with, you just shift them right in. But it's really, really important that you're upfront with your players from day one about this idea that you have. Do not just spring this on them. They will probably revolt. The surprise definitely could be, a great little way to boost the game. It could be fun, or they could be really pissed because you just killed off something they love. Be prepared to lose players if you ever decide to do that. So this provides a really unique role-playing opportunity for your players, because not only are they dealing with this alternate personality that, is cool and provides some different role-playing experience, or different playing experiences, but it also provides them with some interesting metagaming role-playing that's legal. So I've mentioned that I run an SCP game. And one of my players has this really cool hacker chick named Zero. Zero is definitely just kind of there as far as being in the party. She does her own thing. She definitely contributes, but when it comes to being a leader, she's just there. Like, oh, you want to make that decision? Whatever. It's not my decision. I don't care if it blows up in your face, as long as I don't die. That's cool. Now, if she were to flux into an avatar firebender, call her Kari. Kari is this little hot-headed, I'm gonna take on the world and you're with me or I'm tossing you out the window. I will beat you into the earth if you do not agree with me. She is a very strong and powerful leader. Now, you're the firebender. The player's the firebender. Try that again. Now, my player is this firebender, but she has all the memories from Zero. And Zero might not like everything that Kari has to say and do. She might prefer that you kind of hang back. Zero might prefer that Kari hang back. She might prefer that she let go of the reins, let someone else take control of it, so when it blows up in everyone's face, it's not her fault. And Kari might not be totally cool with that. Kari might be really pissed that this past self was basically lazy, in her opinion. They also mesh very nicely because they're definitely out to look after themselves. So that would work, but they might have little arguments in their head from time to time. And that's something that your players will have to deal with. Additionally, say they're in this new avatar party and they know that Kari's a little spitfire and she will start a fight over anything. And suddenly she starts backing off and someone insults her and she takes it to heart and is like, oh, okay, I'm going to go sulk in my room now. They're going to notice that something's up and that's not totally right. Or maybe people in the world might realize that something's up. Like, they're at a street fair and, well, Kari's kind of known for her dancing and stuff, and she does all these cool things with fire dancing, and oh, she's shy now. Now she doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to come on stage? Well, that's not very much like her. Or more importantly, Kari is an important figure in society. Kari's parents were kind of royalty, and she goes up in front of a crowd to start speaking and can't get 2 words out. Or she doesn't make eye contact with the guards when she comes in. She doesn't use a normal greeting that she would. People will start to recognize that something's changed, and maybe Co stole your face or something. Maybe you're an imposter, and you're trying to sneak in here. Now we're going to put you in jail, and now we're going to interrogate you. And problems will arise because your player is not properly playing these dueling personalities in their brain, which gets even harder as you continue on and you've got 3, 4, maybe even 5 personalities stacked up on top of each other and they're all interacting and they all remember themselves plus how they interacted with the person directly before them. So if you're planning on purchasing the game yourself, it comes with a ton of instructions from John Wick that are going to help you create a very successful game. However, I do have a couple suggestions myself. One of the most important and fun parts of fluxing is that you should really do it when they least expect it. You're on your way to go fight the big bad boss that you've been building up to for ages and ages, and then suddenly you're in a living room. Or maybe you're traveling to some sort of special objective. They're just about to peak the crest of the mountain, and now they're somewhere completely different. Need an actual example. They're just about to crest to the top of the mountain, and now they're staring eye to eye with a tentacle monster. They're sitting in a living room discussing what to do next, and suddenly they're plummeting to their deaths. Something completely unexpected. They know that they're going to be fluxing, so you have to do it when they're not expecting it. It creates epic cliffhangers that are really, really fun. For you. Really fun. Another thing to keep in mind is that the character that you create for them next should be not the same, but definitely inspired by that first character. You don't want to make, or maybe you do, completely contrasting characters. That's going to be really tough on your player. If you think that they can handle it, I mean, by all means, it's your game. But the average player or the beginner player probably isn't going to be able to handle something so extreme. So if you've run a game of Flux before and there's something you'd like to add, or if you'd like to contest with something that I had to say, or if you'd like to ask me out on a date, be sure to leave a comment below. And also be sure to like, subscribe, and share so we can keep the conversation going. And as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye!
That was kind of a weird noise I made at the end there.
But it was